Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Israeli occupation forces continue targeting displaced people and aid seekers in Gaza, and the UN calls Israel's newly created aid distribution mechanism a death trap. The U.S. president reveals the possibility of reaching a new ceasefire agreement in Gaza within the next week. And the Sultanate of Oman's GDP exceeds 10.5 billion Omani riyals by the end of the first quarter of this year. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The Arab Parliament urged countries around the world, as well as international and regional organizations, to quickly provide urgent humanitarian and relief aid to Gaza to save the Palestinian people from the famine being imposed on them by the Israeli occupation. The Sultanate of Oman participated in the closing session of the first regular meeting of the fourth legislative term of the Arab Parliament, which was held at the headquarters of the Arab League General Secretariat in Cairo. The Arab Parliament reiterated that the Palestinian cause will remain at the forefront of its priorities, considering it the central cause of the Arab world. The Arab Parliament condemned the crimes committed by the Israeli occupation against civilians in Gaza, including the targeting of civilians waiting in lines for food aid and turning those lines into death traps. The Arab Parliament expressed hope that achieving a permanent ceasefire would be the beginning of directing the world's attention in an ethical and responsible manner toward the suffering of the Palestinian people and the Palestinian cause, which remains the cornerstone for achieving security and stability in the region and the world. At least 34 people were killed across Gaza by Israeli strikes since late yesterday. The strikes began late last night and continued into today's morning, killing 12 people near the Palestine Stadium in Gaza City, which was sheltering displaced people. Dozens of people gathered near the site of the attack, which destroyed tents in the shelter. Rescue workers and ordinary Palestinians were seen pulling parts of fabric from the sand in a frantic effort to locate survivors. Another airstrike targeted an apartment building in Gaza City, killing 8 people and wounding others. The occupation also bombed a school housing displaced persons northwest of Gaza City, killing 2 Palestinian civilians. The head of the UN agency caring for Palestinian refugees yesterday slammed Israel's aid distribution mechanism for Gaza as an abomination, describing it as a death trap that will cost more lives than saving it. The newly created so-called aid mechanism is an abomination that humiliates and degrades desperate people, said the Commissioner General of the UN Relief and Works Agency. He added, "It's a death trap costing more lives than it saves. Humanitarian principles need to be reinstated." He also said that he was about to suspend between 10,000 to 20,000 staff across the Middle East 2 weeks ago because of lack of cash flow and funding, but donors moved up contributions that were due later in the year. U.S. President Donald Trump said Friday that a Gaza ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas is close. Taking questions from reporters in the Oval Office during a peace signing ceremony, U.S. President said that we think within the next week we're going to get a ceasefire. As well as he added that such an agreement has long been elusive and it's unclear if this time will be different. Asked whether he has reached out with a letter to North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un, Trump said he's getting along with him very, very well, adding that if there were to be a conflict, they will get the conflict solved. Iran is ready to resume nuclear negotiations with the United States. Iran's Minister of Foreign Affairs Abbas Araghchi said early today, while emphasizing Tehran's steadfastness and warning against provocative rhetoric from Washington. In a strongly worded post on X platform, Araghchi called on the U.S. President Donald Trump to shift his tone if he genuinely seeks a diplomatic breakthrough with Tehran. The statement comes amid renewed debate over the future of Iran's nuclear program following an end of a 12-day war with Israel and U.S. airstrikes targeting Iranian facilities. The statement signals Iran's conditional readiness to re-engage with the United States on nuclear negotiations, provided that discussions proceed without a disparaging language and with full recognition of Iran's sovereignty and dignity. With Sudan in the grips of war and millions struggling to find enough to eat, many are turning to weeds and wild plants to quiet their bangers of hunger. They boil the plants in water with salt because simply there is nothing else. World Food Programme's Sudan spokesperson stated, after 2 years of conflict, 24.6 million people in Sudan face acute food insecurity, early half the population, according to the Integrated Food Security Phase classification. Aid workers say the war spiked market prices, limited aid delivery, and shrunk agricultural lands in a country that was once a breadbasket of the world. Sudan plunged into war in April 2023 when simmering tensions between the Sudanese army and its rival paramilitary, the Rapid Support Forces, escalated to fighting in the capital Khartoum and spread across the country, killing over 20,000 people, displacing nearly 13 million people, and pushing many to the brink of famine in what aid workers deemed as the world's largest hunger crisis. Two people were killed and over a dozen injured after Russia attacked the southern Ukrainian port city of Odessa with drones overnight today, according to Ukrainian authorities. A drone struck a 21-story building in the city, causing damage to 3 floors and trapping residents, emergency services said. The two killed in the attack were a married couple, said Odessa regional governor. Still to come on News Bulletin. Families gathered at Jebel Shams for the 16th Family Astronomy Camp hosted by the Oman Astronomical Society for a night of celestial discovery and stargazing. Oman's gross domestic product at current prices increased by 4.7% by the end of the first quarter of this year, reaching more than 10.5 billion Omani riyals. Data from the National Center for Statistics and Information indicated that this growth is mainly attributed to the rise in non-oil activities, which recorded a growth of 4.1%, reaching more than 7,130 million Omani riyals. Meanwhile, agricultural and fishing activities witnessed a growth of more than 11%, while industrial activities recorded significant growth, reaching a contribution of more than 1.9 billion Omani riyals. And service activities contributed approximately 4.8 billion Omani riyals to the GDP. The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion stated that online freelancing in the Sultanate of Oman is witnessing rapid growth driven by changes in the global labor market and trends in the digital economy. The ministry indicated that this trend comes in line with integrated government efforts to provide a supportive legislative and technical environment, contributing to empowering individuals and achieving the goals of Oman Vision 2040, which aims to create an economy based on diversity and innovation. The ministry added that the most prominent government initiatives in this area have included the issuance of licenses under the name Freelance Business Register, which allows Omanis to engage in e-commerce activities for a nominal fee within a clear regulatory framework. The Sultanate of Oman concluded its participation as guest of honor at the 56th Algiers International Fair, marking a strong turnout and several signed memorandum of understanding across key sectors. More details in the following report.
The Sultanate of Oman concluded its role as guest of honor at the 56th Algiers International Fair, highlighting its cultural and economic identity through a dynamic pavilion that drew strong interest from visitors and Algerian business owners.
We are here to present thermal insulation material in the Algerian exhibition, and we believe that there is massive was the demand on this product, as the product helps for the sustainability of the environment. There is so many visits we had the last few days, as we had so many investors from the sector of construction, where we might sign a deal with them very soon.
The Omani Pavilion featured 60 companies from key sectors such as pharmaceuticals, transport, electrical technologies, real estate, tourism, and more. Among the major outcomes was the signing of a memorandum of understanding between Oman's Felix Pharmaceutical and two Algerian firms to transfer pharmaceutical expertise and enhance medical security between the two countries.
Basically, we come to Algeria just to make good relation and with Algerian also customer as well. We have our own customer here in Algeria, but yes, we have also to try to grab more customer as well in Algerians. We are so proud of our product. We are so proud of our what we have in our hands to deliver to Algeria.
I see so many visitors to visit our booth, and they are very happy about our quality. And we are with discussion with traders of steel in Algeria.
Designed as an integrated village reflecting elements of Oman's environment and heritage, the pavilion included government entities, private companies, SMEs, artisans, and a cultural corner, offering visitors a window into the depth of Omani civilization.
The Oman Society of Astronomy and Space held its 16th Family Astronomy Camp at Jebel Shams in the Wilaya of Al Hamra in the Dakhiliya Governorate, where families and stargazers came together for a journey of discovery through space. Here's more in the following report.
Far from the noise of daily life, atop the peaks of Jebel Shams in the Wilaya of Al Hamra in the Dakhiliya Governorate, the 16th Family Astronomy Camp unfolded beneath a sky untouched by city lights, where the stars shone without interruption. Organized by the Oman Society of Astronomy and Space, the event brought together children, parents, students, and educators, all united by a shared curiosity: the universe above.
The main goal of this event is promote domestic tourism in Oman by encouraging people to discover the country's natural landscape, like mountains. The event offers a special experience of observing astronomical phenomena by using the professional telescopes. By these experiences, we aim to foster deeper appreciation of Oman's rich natural tourism heritage and also inspire environmental awareness.
The camp blended learning with lived experience through telescope sessions, astrophotography workshops, and hands-on activities. Participants explored the cosmos in real time. Planet paths were tracked, constellations named, and imaginations set free.
I think it's really important to learn about astronomy, especially like in Oman, because this is something that we focus a lot on in our like faith. We depend on like the moon cycle and whatnot. So I think culturally speaking, it's a big part of our culture. Academically speaking, I think there is no age gap for like learning new things, and honestly, learning about astronomy, the universe outside of ourselves is a very good thing to do. So I'm really excited to be here.
I am very lucky to get the chance to be here for one of the camps that you get the chance to see unbelievable views about the sunset and the sunrises, and also you can bring your families and have some quality time. I think it gives the children a new perspective about the sky and the astronomy, as you mentioned, and yeah, it just widened their view about the Earth and how the other planets works, you know?
More than a weekend retreat, the camp was a reminder of how powerful learning becomes when rooted in nature and shared discovery. Attendees returned home with more than facts. They carried a renewed sense of wonder and a lasting connection to the night sky. The Family Astronomy Camp opened minds to the universe, inspiring a generation to see space science as a path of exploration and possibility. Reporting from Jebel Shams in the Wilaya of Al-Hamra, this is Salih Abu Khalfan, الرحبي الداخلية Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. Israeli occupation forces continue targeting displaced people and aid seekers in Gaza, and the UN calls Israel's newly created aid distribution mechanism a death trap. The US president reveals the possibility of reaching a new ceasefire agreement in Gaza within the next week. And the Sultanate of Oman's GDP exceeds 10.5 billion Omani riyals by the end of the first quarter of this year. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from all of us here at the newsroom and the studios. Thank you for watching and have a good night.